This show is progressing so fast, but yet somehow doesn't feel rushed. What is up, y'all? It's your man, Dad Dude, bringing you guys another video. I'm giving out subscriptions down below, so go hit that button. I'd appreciate it. I'm really gonna have to start trying to find things I don't like for every episode, because I can't just keep getting on here and saying how good Jujutsu Kaisen is, because at a certain point it just gets redundant. But I'm in like full fan mode right now because this show just is that good. We are only on episode 8 and we're already getting introduced to other students from Jujutsu schools. In this episode we get Toudou and Mai. Mai, as for right now, seems like your kind of typical bitch character. Nothing really special there besides her relationship with Maki and that she is Maki's twin sister. However, it is interesting that Mai can only imbue objects with cursed energy and Maki has no cursed energy of her own. So I do look forward to seeing their respective fighting styles, because I'd imagine they're very unique with those limitations. Like a lot of times when you have characters who have really big limitations on what they can do, it forces them to adapt their fighting style and come up with some really creative stuff. And I imagine that's what we're going to see with Maki and Mai. Now, Toudou. Oh man, Toudou might be my new favorite character just from this episode. I've always been a sucker for characters who rely more on their physical attributes and their physical abilities than anything else. I think it makes for more visually appealing fights, and it really stands out in a genre that at times can be dominated by energy beams and shit like that. The dude is a muscle-bound powerhouse who is willing to fight people based off their preference in women. Like, come on, how can you not like that? Plus, he was giving Megumi that work. Like, yeah, Megumi said he wasn't taking the fight seriously at first, but still, by the end of their fight, Megumi was still bloodied up. Plus, Toudou said he likes tall women with big asses. Like, yeah, I felt that. Is best boy a thing? Best dude? Best bro? I like best bro better than the other two. So if that's a thing, Toudou is definitely that. He is, as for right now, best bro. Gojo just continues to be a badass, man. The dude walks into a meeting he's not supposed to be at and tells one of the higher ups in the Jujutsu organization that his time is coming to an end and there's nothing he can really do about it. I was actually kind of hoping that we would get to see a Gojo and the principal from the other school fight. Like, I know the guy's old, but I'm assuming you don't get to be a higher up in a Jujutsu organization without being pretty strong in your own right. So I was hoping we maybe get to see them go at it for a little bit. Not Gojo killed the guy, but just to see like maybe the old man show some fight in him and show some little bit more anger than what we got in the scene. It was still a nice scene. I like what we did get, but maybe a little bit of a fight would have been cool just for us to show, or just for us to see that, yeah, this guy is old. He's still pretty powerful. And he's someone who is commanding of respect, and that would make it even more impressive that Gojo's willing to come in and be so blatantly disrespectful. Because if he's just a feeble old man, then it's not quite as impressive that Gojo comes in and just being kind of a dick. But if he's like actually like a very strong Jujutsu sorcerer in his own right, that makes it even more impressive that Gojo's willing to come in and say all these things to this guy's face. Also, it was pretty interesting that Gojo left Megumi off of his little list of like the next generation of Jujutsu sorcerers are going to come in and create change. I believe when they showed the scene, it seemed that in his mind he was only thinking of Yuji, Toudou, and Okotsu. Of course, we haven't seen Okotsu yet, but it was only those three that really came to mind for him. I didn't see Megumi pop up in his little like thought when he was thinking. So does that mean he doesn't think that Megumi has the same kind of potential as those other three, or how's that going to work out? I know that, of course, Yuji has Sakune in him, so he has a lot of potential there. We've seen how strong Toudou is, and everyone talks about this Okotsu guy like he's like the next coming. So maybe Megumi is just an odd man out, and so he just simply is not as powerful as those three. It doesn't have the potential as those three, and so Gojo wasn't thinking of him in that moment. But I like Megumi as a character, so I really hope that Megumi doesn't get left behind by the other characters in the show. Okay, I said I would try to find something from this episode that I didn't like, so here it goes. I really wish we had actually gotten to see Nobara versus Mai instead of just seeing the aftermath. Because we just got to tune in when Nobara's already on the ground and Mai's standing over her, and Maki comes in to kind of save her. I would have much preferred to actually see Nobara fight Mai and maybe like lose. I would have been mad if Nobara lost. Nobara's the first year, Mai is the second year. It would stand the reason that she would probably lose that fight. I just wish we actually got to see the fight. I do ultimately like how they're managing Nobara's character though. I was laughing the whole time when she snuck up behind Mai and was choking her out. Nobara really does not feel like a tag along, and that alone makes her one of the better female characters in shonen anime. When you compare her to like the characters that come before her, she's not a tag along. She is her own person, her own character that stands apart from Megumi and Yuji. So that alone makes her a character worth watching, a character worth rooting for. The score for this episode was fucking amazing. I don't know what you would call that music or classify it as that was playing during the Megumi and Toudou fight, but whatever it was, really good. I found it really fitting, and I thought it set the mood for the fight really well. It just falls in line with the music for this anime in general being really good. The OP for this anime is great, the ending for this anime is great, and so far the score we get for the actual episodes is really good, and it was especially good in this episode. Yuji was nowhere to be seen in this episode, and it didn't even matter. This episode was still great, and it just shows that Jujutsu Kaisen has supporting characters that are good enough to are capable of carrying a story on their own and don't need the main character always around to make the story interesting. That really bodes well for the future of Jujutsu Kaisen. Anyways, guys, all I have for you in this one. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, and also hit me up in the comments. I respond to almost everything. If you didn't like the video, again, let me know why in the comments. We can talk about it. If you are so inclined to subscribe, I would appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.